Morning.
Morning.
Give us your name and DOC number, please.
My name is Jermaine Loebb. My number is 335795.
All right, thank you, Mr. Loeb. The parole panel is reconvening at Bogue at Steve Hall. For the staff at Steve Hall, please put your names on the record for us.
Sergeant Todd Roberts, security.
Gene Murphy, Steve Hall Program Manager.
Oh, okay. All right, thank y'all. My name is Pearl Wise. To my left is Mr. Roche. To my right is Mr. Freeman. We comprise your panel. You've done this before.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
you have. You were granted on March the 30th of 2022. You were told to complete Steve Hall. We'll get to that right. But let me go ahead and follow the protocols. I'm going to read some information into the record, and afterwards we're going to interview you. The case was assigned to me, so I'll begin the interview process. You do have visitors. You have Miss Jamie Green with Keep It Real, and you have Mr. Randall Myers with the Jefferson ADA's office, and they'll be speaking at the appropriate time. And then we're going to get an update from Mr. Murphy as to how you've been doing in that facility. We want to hear all about that. But let me read the information into the record. Again, Jermaine Loebb. The DOC number is 335795. Your current sentence date was January the 5th of 2009 for contraband, July 20th of 2009 for habitual possession with intent to distribute heroin, and January the 5th of 2009 for possession of marijuana. Your total DOC sentence is listed as 35 years. Your parole eligibility date was September the 10th of 2016. Your good time date is May 14th of 2042. And you have a full-time date of December the 10th of 2042. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I was on your last panel, and you were granted after completing Steve Hall.
Yes, ma'am.
So tell us what you've been doing since March 30th of 2022.
Well, since March 30th of 2022, well, I came here in April of 22. And I've been enrolled in the Steve Hall program, and I have been through treatment plans, and I have been through these curriculums, and I have diligently graduated, and I found it as a wonderful experience to go through the Steve Hall program and come in contact with these people.
Tell me about the top 3 things that you learned that you didn't already know.
Well, a lot of things I came in contact about myself with is with the MRT, being in the MRT, and I gave a testimony, and I started understanding things about things I was doing to myself and others, and how I was conducting myself in terms of the way I was into this drug life. And the 27 risk factors, risk management was like, it was hard for me to understand, but I got right into it. And I looked at these risk factors, and I seen myself in a different light in terms of looking at all the things I was into and how I was trying to shift weight and how I was in denial of the lifestyle and justifying my actions and, living this life of crime, and living in balance gave me an idea of, like the scientific formula of being into the lifestyle that I was into, even from smoking cigarettes. I never really had that type of understanding of the type of stuff that I was dealing with and I was consuming. And the drugs, the alcohol, smoking cigarettes, and where I was conducting myself, living in balance, had given me a type of form of education of myself and things like that, and it really helped me out throughout the way. And the MRT was really one of my best classes because it looked at it took me to my infant state. And when I went through my infant state and I was reading this curriculum, it allowed me to see how I was circumventing people and how I was using this pacifying as a child, and how I was manipulating people from a child into my adulthood. And I seen myself in a different light, and it made me understand some things and get some things off of my back because I didn't know I was carrying all that baggage with me as I from an infant state and off into using drugs. It was like everything I seen in it was like in 3D, and I kind of like seen where, life could be real better. It ain't got to be, you ain't got to be normal to be on drugs and stuff like that. And
Oh,
I think
very good. Very good. Very, very good. I'm going to stop you there. We always say that Steve Harvey were the best programs in the state, and
Yes,
you can testify to that. And I'm sure you're going to be telling that story everywhere you go as well. So, what is your sobriety plan? If you're released, how do you plan to stay clean and sober?
well, I kind of like, see, I did this before. I've been released before from prison. And one thing I knew about myself, if I go into an idle environment, then I'm gonna embrace being idle and adjust to that environment. But I kind of like seeing where I was offered an opportunity to go to Discovery Housing. And when that opportunity was afforded to me, I didn't really fully understand. But when Ms. Fisher went to breaking it down to me, how these people could be there for me in terms of, like if I need somebody to reach out to and to talk to, that was afforded to me along with being, assistant for housing. So I'm like, I seen that and I was like, I want that. I want to have somebody that I could turn to because I'm always in recovery. Being an addict, I'm always need somebody I could turn to and ask for advice and talk to. So when she discussed that formula with me with going to this housing, I just embraced it fully because I knew I'm gonna need that.
Well, how many AA or NA meetings you plan on attending?
Well, whatever they have, whatever I gotta do, because I really don't know what the plan is because I gotta get there. But whatever the plan is, I'm going to it in unison. I'm ready.
How long is the recovery house?
I think it's for 6 months.
Okay. And then what's after that?
The plan is to get you on your own and have you set up where you can have employment, you make the transition back into the community, and you have that opportunity to be assisted even when you leave the Discovery Housing, you still could have that platform for you. So
I'm glad you say that you're always going to be an addict and you're going to always need that support. I'm glad to hear you say that.
Yes, ma'am.
I think that's going to be all my questions. Anyone else in my family have any questions? Yes, Ms. White. Thank you, sir. I'm sorry, man. Let me hear from staff, please, if you don't mind. Staff, Mr. Murphy, what you want to tell us about Jermaine?
Hi, members of the board. I just want to say, Mr. Loeb, again, he graduated our program back in January or end of January. I apologize for my dry mouth. Again, he met all his treatment plan requirements. He had some positive reports for outstanding participation in his groups. Again, he did all of his anger managements, job readiness. He met all of his core requirements. Again, speaking to, he's going to be participating in the recovery housing program. And also he is, upon completing our program, he became a trustee with Bossier. So he's out during the day with security team doing work around the facility and stuff as one of our trustees. So again, meeting all of our requirements and then passing Bossier screening, to become a worker. So again, he's doing everything he needs to do. So.
All right, thank you, Mr. Boucher. Good morning, Mr. Loeb. How are you?
Come on, I'm fine.
Good. I didn't sit on your first panel, so I have a couple of questions.
Yes, sir.
You got your first arrest in 1990.
Say it again.
You got your first arrest in 1990.
Yes, sir.
And that arrest was for possession with intent to distribute cocaine.
And then 1991, you got a first-degree murder charge. Tell me about the first-degree murder charge.
Well, I was arrested along with another guy, and I was arrested for the murder charge because I gave this guy a gun. And I gave him a gun, and in terms of me giving him the gun, not knowing that he was going to turn around and shoot these two people. But I did give him the gun, and that made me a part of that crime.
And you got a 10-year sentence for that, right?
Yes, sir.
So tell me, why did you sell drugs in the first place?
Well, I'm like, when I was my first time consuming marijuana, I became instantly addicted to the drug itself. And it was like marijuana became a gateway for a line of other drugs. When I look back at my past, it was like that one try of drugs, that marijuana, allowed me into a lifestyle that I really didn't need much to comprehend that I would have been into. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like a gateway. And once I consumed the marijuana, it was like every other drug I tried, I was addicted to. And that became like a lifestyle, like, you know, and I just, you know, when I look back, I just look at, you know, that one drug opened up a line of activity and a lifestyle that I never was ready for.
You can pivot your violence to use of drugs.
Say that again, sir?
You can pivot your violent arrest to the use of drugs.
Yeah, because it was, you know, based on me being in that type of environment. Drugs had a whole lot to contribute with being in that situation at that time, because I was selling drugs.
I'm just a little concerned you're a fifth felony offender, been convicted of 5 felonies, you've been on supervision 4 times, and you've been revoked all 4 times.
Yes, sir.
I'm just a little concerned about the baggage that you have attached to you. So tell me why I should go to your supervision again if you've been revoked on 4 different occasions.
Well, today I understand that, you know, that this being on parole is not against me. They're there to help me. And at one particular time in my life, being on parole when I was younger, I thought that was against me, you know. But today I understand that parole and my parole officer is here to help me. I ain't got to run from my parole officer. I could go to him and let him know what I'm going through, and he's gonna help me. At that time in my life, I didn't understand that, but today I understand that because I knew if I go to my parole officer with a problem, he's gonna help me. He's not against me. He's there to help me. And I know I've been on parole 4 different times, so I understand more now, you know, in this time in my life, in my age, that these people are here to help me. They're not against me. So if you grant me parole today, I know today that I could be held accountable for, just like I'm held accountable today, right now. I could be held accountable.
Thank you, Mr. Loeb. I appreciate talking with you, and I
Okay.
appreciate the honesty.
Okay.
Ms. Freeman, any questions? All right. All right, at this time, let's hear from Mr. Myers. Go ahead.
Hi, Randy Meyer, Assistant DA, Jefferson Parish. So Mr. Loeb was granted previously after completion of the Steve Hall program, which he's done. He's gotten good remarks regarding the Steve Hall program. I kind of like what I heard. I like, as Ms. Wise pointed out, 2 things he said. He's always going to be an addict, and he always is going to need the support. I think that's an important thing that he maybe now realizes that's going to help him in the future. Mr. Loeb, I've made this comment before in other cases that I've got a friend who's an alcoholic who's been over 30 years in the AA program. And he does lots of, he's a sponsor for quite a few people, very involved in it. And he attributes maintaining his participation in those programs as keeping him clean and sober. And since then, he has been extremely successful in his work. So hopefully you can do that as well and keep that in your mind. I have no further comment.
Thank you, Mr. Mike. All right, Mrs. Green.
Good morning, board. I hope that y'all are well. I'm really excited to actually be listening to Mr. Loeb this morning. I had previously had some conversations with him and was really impressed with his plan. One of the things that he told me was that on his other releases, he felt like he wasn't successful because he didn't take advantage of the resources that were in front of him, and that he wanted to come home different this time. And I think just that mindset alone is powerful. But with our program, he'll have an in-house program. It's 6 months, and if he chooses to do longer, that's up to him. But he'll have in-house behavioral health services if he chooses that. And then also we have our addictions meetings available to him. He'll have peer support, he'll have mentorship. And I think with that structure and just us walking alongside of him, that he will be successful. We work very closely with probation and parole. They're on our property almost daily. So even with that, he'll have access to his officer and just some extra resources there as well. We are absolutely excited to work with him and hope that the board will see fit to allow him to come home and try this again.
Ms. Green, what city is your program, your house?
We're in St. Bernard Parish, but serving the greater New Orleans area. And we are actually part of the Department of Justice and Department of Corrections Pay for Success program. So we're teaming up with the programs inside of the penitentiaries for the men who have completed the drug programs.
Great, thank you. Thank you. All right, no further questions. So Jermaine, what do you want us to know before we vote?
I just want y'all to know I appreciate the opportunity to come here into the Steve Hall program because it allowed me to release some things in my life and look into my future and know where I'm going and what I want to do in life. Thank y'all.
Thank you. I'll be voting first since your case was assigned to me. I want you to know that I appreciate you. Many people get the opportunities and some of them turn to they don't take advantage of the opportunity. I thank you for taking advantage of the opportunities. That's huge. I voted for you in March, and so my vote is to grant again this time with the special conditions that's set forth before, that you follow the release plan set by Steve Hall, attend at least 3 AANA meetings for the first 6 months, and then thereafter, as set by the PO, and that you perform community service, speaking to youth at least 5 hours a month. And that community service could be speaking to youth and helping the elderly, like mowing yards, things like that, using that time. That is my vote. Mr. Goshe?
Mr. Loeb. Mr. Loeb?
Sir.
I asked you 1 or 2 questions, and you did right answers to all the questions based on your positive attitude, positive remarks from the Steve Hall staff, and a transition plan that I think will be successful for you. My vote is to grant under the same conditions as Mrs. Watt.
Thank you.
Mr. Freeman?
I concur with my colleagues. You completed the program as ordered by the previous panel. I think you got a lot out of the program, so I also vote to grant.
Thank you.
For the second time, more people don't hear this, your parole has been granted. Best wishes to you, sir.
Thank you.
That's what's up.